Hello, my fellow audience. I have come back here. Well, actually, I think it's best to reveal the real me. But not like any dark secrets, but just some actually sad secrets that I think it's best for me to share it all. Some others may not reveal their real identity, and some do. One of you know me as Min or Minlox, but my real name is Lydia with an I, Lydia, and there are some things that I've actually never told anything about this. I'll tell you more about the content and how I started. Back around quarantine, some people haven't noticed me. I was just an outsider that I didn't have any like social media nor anything about that because I wasn't the type of person. That's when I look up at every each ASMR creators that do voice acting and satisfy people. And I was thinking that maybe it's time for me to be noticed and, maybe make a new hobby since around quarantine. And I've actually started enjoying it. And yeah, looking back at my 12-year-old self, I've actually hated myself. Not because of the content, it's because my voice, my actions, and me. I don't know why. It was very stupid of me. And honestly, I had long hair, and looking back, that's when I think of myself ugly with my long hair. I really wanted to cut it and have a nice, pretty attitude, I guess. During these days, during quarantine, I was a loner. While doing content, I I was a somebody, and then until that, these days, a a friend of mine, before we were friends, told me about Discord. I have no idea what it is, so I joined in, and I think this is the best way to make more friends, to make me happier and smile more, because I really do enjoy talking to friends. But I was unsocialized when quarantine has stopped. I was awkward. I don't know how to make a conversation, and I look away others' faces because I was shy and nervous. Back at around the 7th and 8th grade, I prefer online friends, but it makes me cry because I was a loner. Back around COVID 19, there was other friends before. Well, this day we stopped talking, And but back there, one of one of our friends committed suicide. I never felt that before. I didn't know how it felt losing a friend. That's when I have a fear of being alone. I'm sorry. I really do promise myself not to cry. I've been holding these tears back. They're finally out. Around in 8th grade, I was a loner. But around at the starting, I made one friend that I felt comfortable with. But when it started to be fall break, that's when she has to move. Everything broke down. I cried lots during each class. And every time when I look at my grades, I thought I wasn't good enough, nor smarter. Sometimes I I imagine myself having cuts in my arms, but I don't because I have some sensitive body, but I just really do sometimes imagine myself having cuts in my arms. And every time when I'm around in middle school, I would always have angry thoughts that I really want to be out of school. I really do hated elementary. It was a very bad start around in 8th grade. I wanted to cry again. I wanted to yell out for help. I want to shout for freedom. Until high school came. I'm a freshman now. Things are beginning to be better. More friends, close friends. But I still have the thought and not the cut thought, but freedom thoughts. I know all of us have the same thing in common. School is prison. It is, really. And I really wanted to drop out, but I can't. I I have to pass every each grade. I really want to be out of here, to have freedom, and grow up faster. I really do thought of things to go fast time. May time go fast and skip in each year when I'm older. When I talk to people online, but sometimes I have a thought if if I wanted to try responding or something like that, I have a thought of I thought I was a bother or annoying. And well, sometimes if I responded to some servers or show something that are good and what I liked, I just don't get nothing nor any response. Just some others talking each other, but not me. I just I was just okay with that. I don't really mind if they're just talking to each other. But to me, on the other hand, I guess I'm just another person that doesn't really talk much. Just a person that always stays quiet. And I wanted to say something, but I don't have the words to build up. So I stayed at the other side, not saying anything until when someone responds. I do really want to cry sometimes, but I just hold them and I try seeking for something that is secret and wanting to be alone just to cry out in hiding my tears. There will be sometimes if I'm happy, something like that. But some others think I'm just a regular happy person. But behind the screen, no, I sometimes look sad and depressed. When it comes to loved ones and friends, that's what makes me happy, really. And there will be some sad times when I'm lonely and sometimes talking to myself. Only cheerful thing is just listening to music or watching videos. Sometimes I don't want to wake up just not to go to school, something like that. I just want to stay in my sleep, dreaming forever. Waking up, having a good day, just chatting with friends and having good times. And whenever I come home, I'll sometimes have a frown face and some other types of mad faces from a day of prison of school. I sometimes want to be alone and not bothered, just to relax and get out the stress. Some stress relief is YouTube and Discord, and sometimes some stress will be work and thinking of some other things that I have to get done on. And sometimes the real true meaning of this channel is just to make others happy showing them they're not alone. They don't need to be sad. It is actually okay to be sad, but they need to find their happiness to get some stress out of them. And some of my videos may not be the same because I'm growing up. I'm not that 12-year-old me anymore. It's time for me to keep going. But there's one problem. I just don't know. Go back doing more ASMRs or doing that project I'm working on. Well, just for YouTube, that's all. That's the main point. And sometimes I think of doing both. I wasn't sure about that. And that reminds me, while checking on my YouTube studios, I found some other people commenting on I sound young and they don't really know my gender. They thought I was a boy or a girl. Well, here's your answer now. I'm a girl. You may not know, but I may have a deep voice or sound like it because that's my real voice. And those old videos were 12-year-old me. And till this day, I'm 14. I'm just a regular kid that listens to music, has some thoughts of any kinds of fantasy. I also do role plays. I know that may be like a weird thing, but that's what I kind of want to do. Make my imaginations real. And sometimes I hope for the future I be out of prison, of school, and see my real friends and my lover too. This is Lydia, now signing off, and I hope you all have a good night. And this is the real me.